it needs teamwork to work well. And yet, kind of paradoxically, we're an industry that does not work that well together. Like, it's very contractual.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of 123 Teamwork. Today, I have with me Emma. Emma, super excited to have you. Welcome to the show. Can you give an introduction of yourself to our audience?
Sure. So I'm Emma Porter. I'm managing director of a construction company, Story Contracting in England. I also am really interested in things around. So previously I worked in consultants, and that got me kind of interested in economic development, and especially things like how infrastructure can impact on kind of economic growth, but like inclusive growth. And so because of that, I also sit on the local LEP and the thing called the Bordlands Economic Forum, and I do quite a bit around that. And then another thing I'm very excited about at the moment is I'm starting a community interest company. So it's like a social enterprise that focuses on reducing waste in construction. And so that's really excited about where that might go and what we might do with that. Yeah.
Wow, incredible, incredible. And I'm so excited today. We're going to talk about teamwork in construction. Two of my passions. I love everything building and creating. So love to hear your views on that. Let's get right at it. First question we always ask, can you share with us an example of inspiring or memorable teamwork?
Yes, I was thinking about this question, and I was thinking, gosh, I bet everyone that Anna has on this talks about, like, I don't know, like a world leader or someone really inspiring. But I want to talk about kind of a community leader. So there's a guy I know in Carlisle called Andy Fearon, and he runs a kind of a church called Vineyard Church. He's got no formal power over any of the people that he organises. And yet he's managed to create a movement called Give a Day Carlisle. And every year he gets all these businesses to volunteer for a day to do community projects. And it's just, I think it's just such, his leadership and that teamwork and that inspiring kind of making stuff happen. He doesn't have any kind of authority over getting them to do it. He just does it through kind of inspiring them into action. And it's really become quite a big thing. Like, loads of businesses get involved, loads of community projects get done in this one day of kind of just give a day to the city, he calls it. And I think he's just such a great example of leadership done well, where it's, you're not kind of telling people what to do because you're the boss. You're inspiring people to do something, I think is a super example of some inspiring leadership.
That's awesome. So the whole city is coming together as a team on one day. Wow.
Yeah, just because Andy's talked them into it and made them think it's a great idea. It's great.
That's incredible. What a great example. Cool. So you work, I guess, with a lot of construction teams, clients, multidisciplinary teams, as we know it well from the construction industry. What do you find most challenging working together in teams?
Yes, I think you kind of touched on, I work in construction, and the construction industry, like, it's particularly civils, which is what we tend to do. It's always complicated. There's always changes. It's never completely straightforward. And there's always a lot of different stakeholders and a lot of different parties. And so it needs teamwork to work well. And yet, kind of paradoxically, we're an industry that does not work that well together. Like, it's very contractual and very kind of argumentative. And so I think there are lots of challenges that the industry doesn't do well, but, I kind of personally quite relish those challenges and quite enjoy them. I think we can do so much better when we actually manage to work well together as a team. But I was thinking about, what do I personally find challenging? Because I like teams. I'm a very kind of people person. We use insights. I'm yellow kind of energy. Generally, I like being in a team and part of a team and involved in a team. But one of the things I find personally challenging is not taking it too personally if someone else isn't enjoying that. Like, I think I care a lot, like, that's my style, but sometimes almost say someone's had a difficult time or hasn't been enjoying it, I kind of take that personally, and it's not personal. Like, it's not responsible for everyone enjoying their job. But from a personal level, one of the things I do find kind of challenging is not taking it personally if someone isn't completely in love with my idea or my team or my style. Like, I think
Right,
that's
right.
important.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, because when you're so passionate and you're so full in, then it becomes sort of a personal thing. It's hard to be
Yeah,
extremely professional or like extremely like detached how I am
yeah,
personal versus how I am professional. And then if with that energy you come across somebody who's really good at managing that differentiation, then yeah, then I think I take that also personally. Yeah.
yeah. I don't necessarily think I wouldn't want to be in the position of not caring. Like, that's just not, I'm all in,
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
leadership style is going to be caring that much. But I think it's more just, I think one of the problems of me almost seeing like I take it personally is maybe people wouldn't want to say, and that's no good. Like, if people think, oh, I won't tell her because she'll be upset,
Right.
that's not good. Like, that's when it's a problem. And so I don't think I do that, but I need to be aware of it. And I need
Right.
people to be able to come and tell me if something's not working without me thinking it's like a criticism of me personally, because it's not.
Right. Right. Right.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Interesting. Hey, great point. Great point. So then what what is your secret ingredient for great teamwork?
So I think one of the big things that makes a difference is kind of looking for the good in other people, like coming from a place of mutual respect and particularly valuing the differences
Mm,
in other people, and taking the time to demonstrate and show that you see the differences and you value them. Like, I often start meetings, particularly if it's kind of potentially going to be controversial or kind of might have conflict in it. I'll set off by saying, like, we are all on the same side. We all want this project to deliver. We all need each other for this to deliver. Like, we want the challenge that each other brings, but we do that challenge in a supportive, kind of healthy way, almost like high challenge, high support. But I think
right.
if you fundamentally have high regard for the other people in your team, and that is the foundation. And I was thinking about projects where things have gone particularly well, and I think one of the common factors as well is that shared purpose and
Mm,
that shared kind of vision where, look, we all want the project to succeed, or a bridge to be opened by a certain day, or a building to be kind of handed over by a certain day, and that keeping your eye on the purpose, I think. And going back to my example with Andy, the kind of inspiring local leader who makes things happen, it's because there's such a clear shared purpose. Is like what kind of unites people and gets them to work as a team. So I would say, like, they're the two things I probably keep my eye on the most, is that having shared purpose, communicating it well, and having that the challenge, but from a place of high regard.
mm, mm. Absolutely.
Parti-
So you,
like, especially if the person's got a different point of view from me, like, then I think it's even more important to say, look, I see you and I welcome and appreciate the challenge that you're bringing me, because it's going to make us a better team
mm.
for it.
And what sort of differences are you then referring to? Like, can you give some examples?
So in construction, we have business partners in our team. So we have a finance, health and safety, and HR
Mm,
business partner. They have a bit of a funny job of, they have to hold us to account as well as be part of the team.
right.
So if it was safety, for example, the safety business partner might be coming on site and they might be wanting to slow work down or add on extra measures to keep people safe. And then if they visit a site and they see something that's not safe, they need to be able to say, you need to stop. This is
Right.
not safe.
Right.
But they're also part of the team. So the balance between them being really challenging and able to hold us to account and able to tell us when we're wrong and could do better, but they want to be supportive and welcoming as well, is a difficult balance. And the three business partners we've got manage it very, very well. Like, they're able to really bring fairly firm challenge,
Right.
but from a place of, we understand why and we welcome that, and we need them to tell us, because we
Right.
would we would go wrong if they didn't tell us. And I
Right.
think, equally as well, if I care a lot about diversity, and, there's not many women in construction. And so I talk a lot about kind of women in construction. And the point of that, the point of having diverse teams, is that you'll kind of see each other's blind spots, and spot each other's
Yes.
weaknesses. But just diversity by itself isn't enough. You've got to have diversity and inclusion. So you've got to be able to speak. And I think that that comes from, look, I see you and I appreciate you, the team, and I want you to tell me when I'm wrong. But I equally, I want that same back. I want you to think I'm a good person, that, I'm a good person, you're a good person. And from that place, we can have a really robust conversation and get to the right answer.
Wow, I love this. And I love how you explain this whole, how you make diversity work, how you make inclusion work. Very, very helpful. Thanks so much, Emma. We only have a short chat here, but this has been so insightful. Thanks for being on the show with us.
No, thank you for having me.